We have to work on this more comprehensive deal based, as discussed with President Trump yesterday, on 4 pillars. The substance of the existing agreement, especially if you decide to leave it. The post-2025 period, in order to be sure that we will never have any nuclear activity for Iran.
All right. The French president addressing Congress a short time ago and taking a decidedly direct tack that seems to go in the opposite direction of the President of the United States, with whom he was diplomatic, nodding his head a lot of the time. But this was very much a reversal from that position, or seemed to be. The Republican South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds on all that. Senator, I read into this that it was an entirely different President Macron today, and whether it was on this issue of the Iran agreement, which he thinks can be fixed, shouldn't be shelved, and even on the Paris Accord, the climate accord, that can be fixed, it shouldn't be shelved either. What did you make of both?
Well, with regard to the JCPOA, we paid money up front. We don't have a whole lot to say about whether or not they get in and stay into the deal and onto their part of it or not, but the JCPOA was a bad deal to begin with. It is still a bad deal. But, and part of it, I think, the part that was most concerning... I don't think the French president thinks it's a bad deal. No, Neil, you're right. But here's the part that really concerned me. He suggested that we had signed the deal. Now, President Obama signed the deal. That made it a political agreement. The House and the Senate have never agreed to it. A majority of the House and a majority of the Senate did not agree with it. And if you really want to have something which the United States of America is a party to, you call that a treaty. And it is definitely not a treaty. And one of the reasons why it's not a treaty is because there were not the votes to agree to it. And so that's something that's got to be made very clear to the rest of the world. President Obama had the opportunity to bring a deal to the United States Senate. He did not do it. It is not a treaty. We are not bound by it.
All right. Well, the French president apparently thinks otherwise. So what's the deal with him? Yesterday he seemed to be siding with, or sympathetic with the president's position. Today, not so much. He got more standing ovations from the Democratic side, certainly than the Republican side. But what do you think?
Well, first of all, we're all trying to be polite.
Yeah, understood.
You know, the leader of France is an individual that we have good working relationship with. We have a whole lot more in common than we disagree on. But there were some things that we most certainly did disagree on, and you hit on one of them, the JCPOA. The second item was on the issue of climate change and the direction forward with regard to how we handle it. Most certainly that was something that was divisive in the discussion today. It was actually kind of entertaining to watch the differences and to see how he did the proposal. But he kept us up and down a few times. We, like I say, we have a great relationship with the people of France, but that doesn't mean that we're going to agree on everything.
Fair enough. Senator, I'd like to switch gears a little bit. And the president's choice, the head of the Veterans Administration, Dr. Ronny Jackson, he's taking a lot of heat right now. You know, a lot of people have been saying, including Sarah Sanders a short time ago, that some of these latest allegations are outrageous. She didn't specify which ones. The president himself apparently hinting yesterday that he doesn't know why Dr. Jackson deals with all of this and takes all of this, though he still supported him. Do you?
I had a very good meeting with him last week. He answered a number of questions. We talked about his strategy in front of the committee. I felt that he should have the opportunity last week to do this. Over the weekend, Chairman Isaacson had made a conference call with a number of Republicans. I understand that the ranking member Tester did the same thing with Democrats. The chairman was very honest with us and just discussed a number of unsubstantiated allegations that have been made against the admiral. He laid out in some detail the types of allegations that were being made. And most certainly, if they were found to be true, they would be of real concern before the committee. And so we're going to do our due diligence. We would do that whether it was a Republican nominee or a Democrat nominee.
Well, some of the allegations include oversubscribing certain drugs. There was some charges of, angry alcohol-induced behavior. You know far better than I, sir. And any one of those proved true, would you just say, doctor, step aside?
Well, let me just say we don't know how much of it is true yet or not. We're going to wait until the investigations are complete. Then we'll make our decision. But most certainly, the allegations that have been made are very serious. And in a number of cases, based upon who has made the allegations and based upon what those allegations are, it would give us serious cause for concern as to whether or not he'd be the right man for the job. So it is appropriate that it was delayed, and most certainly we're not going to prejudge him, but we're also not going to move forward without a lot of the facts being made known first.
Senator Mike Rounds, thank you, sir. Very good seeing you.
Thank you.